They are a relaxed trio, sitting around a fire on a picturesque fall day, discussing topics of the day. In the rearview mirror is an event that changed them, that bonded them, that defined the upside of a midlife crisis. Seems Pete was with Norb in Germany, vacationing a few years back, and they came up with an idea.
He said, "Bro, man, thanks for coming here on my 50th. He goes, what should we do for your 50th? And I looked at him and I said, well, we're gonna go run with the bulls, man. And it kind of stuck.
That's right, they made a commitment as they stared the age of 50 in the mirror. They would run with the bulls, a time-honored tradition that has been around a bit. Seems some time ago someone thought it would be fun to let the bulls out. It's now an international phenomenon, so why not?
I love my friends, and I love their passion. I love Pete's passion, Norb's passion. And when it was brought up to me as an idea, it was like, why not?
They began the training. Originally, 11 said they were in. It dwindled down to the big 3. They started by getting in shape, bull running shape.
We all worked out. Norb's going to tell you that it was probably a life-changing event for him physically. Dane has been in shape his whole life, but we had a trainer come out here to the farm and work us out in the field. We ran on uneven ground, did a lot of sprinting, practice falling down and covering up, because they tell you the number one way that people get hurt or killed running with the bulls is they try to get up when they fall down.
And there was a side benefit to the rigorous workouts.
As a result of running and getting in shape and stuff like that for the run, I ended up losing 27 pounds.
But the reality of it did not set in until they arrived. And they began to understand the magnitude of what they had signed up for. On the eve of it, they could feel what was coming, taking them out of their comfort zone and into insomnia zone.
It was pretty cool because we're all really close friends. And I think that we all were very honest with each other and said, dude, I didn't sleep the night before. And then we all just admitted to that right away.
I think I kind of broke the ice, kind of thinking, geez, I don't know about you guys. Did you get any sleep? Because I can sleep through a marching band on a bed of nails.
Not this night, huh?
Not at all.
And then just the pressure mounts and builds for the next 2 hours while you're waiting to go out there. It's early in the morning. It's 5:45 in the morning. We're ready to go run with the bulls. You get corralled up and you're with all these other people. Everybody has the body language of being nervous.
The videos were now becoming reality. So too was the fear. So when they prepared the morning of, there was only assurance that they were not alone, and that some had been here before, herded into the pen, waiting for another pen to open with large animals and big horns.
You see the best of mankind and the worst of mankind, and fear and panic and just utter mayhem, people running seemingly for no reason. You find out that our guide had told us that 80% of the people will just freeze and be in utter terror and panic and will go against the walls and just try to hide. And then there's the 20% that will run, and he told us that the day before.
What followed was the most exhilarating chaos that the 3 had ever experienced. Bulls and people running for the thrill, for safety, and sometimes for their lives.
I got myself into a tussle with a bunch of humanity, and I probably was the worst of the humanity, because as I fell down, and I broke the big rule, if you go down, stay down. Well, I was half down. I was sort of lying on 2 guys below me, and you're really stuck then, because you're likely to get a horn if the bull strays to the side. So I just kept grabbing and pulling and climbed through it.
That's just what happens when you run with the bulls.
We were on the course together, got to where we wanted to go so we could get into the arena, because that was our big goal, was to try to touch a bull and try to get into the arena. But we were together until the moment where all of a sudden it's time to run. Then it becomes a very singular thing, and you don't think of anything else other than survival and instinct.
You see, in the midst of all of this, you find out a lot. Not about the behavior of bulls, but about the behavior of people. Most in the most stressful situation of their lives, and how they responded. Well, you may need psychiatrists to interpret that.
You see the extremes of people, the good and the bad. The good is, as Pete was mentioning, people pulling each other out of the way when they fall. The bad is seeing people horse collar somebody from behind and pull them backwards, not to necessarily make them fall down, but just to propel themselves farther away from the bull.
Because they're that desperate.
It is panic. It is panic.
That was the education of this event, the human study.
And then there'd be 4 people that would jump in and grab that person and drag them across the ground to get them out of harm's way.
The best of
And
mankind.
and they would risk themselves to help somebody out.
But that's what this was about. 3 men looking for something new, trying to inject some tingles into their bodies, to enter a place where they were not in control.
There was a ton of risk. The day we ran, all 3 of us, the bulls stayed pretty tight, which was a good thing. And there were no rogue sueltos, as they call them.
And you don't know.
You don't know.
And when they finally got to the end and entered an arena filled with spectators, they learned one more thing. They were not done.
We got inside the arena and I started looking around right away and I was like, oh my gosh, I made it. And then I looked over, I saw my brother-in-law, Norb, first, and I'm like, okay, Norb. And I looked around, and it took me a few seconds, and I found Dane. We ran right to the middle of the arena. There's 14,000 people around us in this old, archaic arena, cheering and clapping, and we all hugged each other, and it was like the greatest feeling ever. And the most terrifying part of the whole experience for me was the next half an hour, because that's called the running of the cows. And what they don't show on TV and what they don't show on YouTube is that there's a whole nother event that happens right after the run where the people that make it into the arena basically are there to entertain the 14,000 spectators that have bought tickets.
And hugging each other isn't enough entertainment, right?
No, no, it's not.
When it was finally over, they knew they had done something special, shared an experience that only they will understand.
One word, bulletproof. Nothing can touch you. You are so, there's cloud 9, and this is cloud 99. I mean, you feel like you can do anything. You're 10 feet taller than anybody. You can eat more, you can drink more, you can run faster, you're smarter. You just feel great. I mean, it's just literally you're scared to death, and when it's done, you feel fantastic.
When they returned home and reflected, there was a sense they had not felt before. Bonded, to be sure, but there was more.
I'm more willing, I think, to try new things.
Sure.
Yeah, I do. You know, I think the older I get, a lot of people get more conservative.
Sure
I think I get more willing to try. And I'm also at a point in my life where, you know, I've gotten through the poor days, the college days, and those things, and we're able to do more things. Exactly. We're only and
Because we don't know how long this game's going to go.
God doesn't give us, you know, a time. He just says there will be a time.
Life to the Max is brought to you by Life Touch, photography for a lifetime.